Welcome to NHRD Pune YouTube channel, PeoplePoint series. Talent acquisition, as we all know, is one of the most crucial HR functions today. There are so many sectors where actually it has become now like a talent war for talent. So today, we are very happy to bring someone who has spent close to 20 years in this function. I'm Neena Kamal, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Meghana Deshmukh, Director Talent Acquisition, PubMatic Pune. And Meghna has spent 20 years in talent acquisition, as I said. And what amazes me is that she started as a recruiter herself, and now she has reached a stage where she is leading TA organization for one of the fast growing companies in Pune. So, Meghna, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Neena. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure for me.
Fantastic. So, as I was saying, Meghna, talent acquisition is like very crucial. And today, when we are talking about skills gap and we are talking about dearth of talent, it is one of the most strategic functions. HR is under HR umbrella, and you have been doing this for so long. So, my first question to you is how has been your journey, and what do you think are very crucial factors when it comes to TA?
Sure. So, as you said correctly, I started myself as a recruiter. And I'm happy to say that I'm still a hands-on recruiter myself till today. I like doing recruitment myself. Yeah, coming back to your question, I mean, recruitment to some people may sound very generic and very, it's like been going on for like years, and one might feel that this is like same, like you just hire people. But I mean, trust me, 20 years, and I have seen every year has been different because the challenges are different, the requirements are different, the expectations of the organization, the expectations of the candidates are different, and it's a big shift. And it's no longer just, you're finding the right person for the company, but I think the recruitment or the recruiter has become more like a salesperson, because it's no longer just hey, you want a job, we have a job for you. No, you have to tell and convince the person why your company is the best company
In that
to
space?
work for, and why this is a great opportunity, and how the person is going to get benefited out of it. So it's no longer just matching the requirement and the candidate, but there's a lot more to it. So it has changed tremendously over last 20 years. And as I said, it's more and more challenging day by day, and and it's not easy to find the right person all the time. Yeah.
So even the market scenario, and in the last year, last 10 years, if we look at it, the market scenario has changed dynamically. Organizations' expectations, candidates' expectations, the whole generation of your candidates is new. And
Yes.
how do you see that this all playing a part in the TA situation?
Sure. So the most important aspect would be the market itself. Because earlier it was like, yeah, I mean, we had these, like 20 years back, we had these software engineers looking for a job. And even the number of skills were less at that time. So we had just 3, 4 skills. And again, we had less number of right or, right skilled people available at that point in time. Everything is different now. I mean, there are a number of skills which are like every day there's a new skill coming up in the market, and everyone wants to work on that particular technology. Not only companies also want to work on those technologies, but candidates are also, they decide which company to join based on whether it's a product company, it's a services company, and the kind of technology that they're going to get to work on. that's a very important decision-making factor for them. So, for example, if I'm talking to a candidate who has like 3, 4 offers in hand, same skill, and the compensation is also like almost the same, but how would that person decide? So, based on my experience, if your company or the offer or the job opportunity that you have is is going to give that person an opportunity to work on the latest tech stack, and something that is very interesting, very new in the market, then there are very high chances that the person will join that company. So that plays a major factor right now compared to, earlier it was like, okay, I mean, I'm looking for a job and this is what we have. The person will most probably join that company, but they look at different factors, right, before taking that decision. Yeah.
So when I was preparing for our conversation, and I've not been a technical recruiter myself, so I had to do a little bit of reading, and I had to understand what currently is happening. And one of the conversations which I came across is that the expectations of candidates are changing with every passing year. Like sometimes there was a time I remember when people were even offer hopping, especially in India. Even for 1,000 rupees they will go to another organization. But today that scene has changed, is what I understand. So what is your take on it?
I agree to that. So and I have seen a lot of changes in last 10 years specifically, because initially, maybe they would look for just a job, just financial growth, along with that job change. Some people would look for, I mean, in last 10 years specifically, they'll say, okay, you know what, I want to work with a startup, because there was this phase that people were like highly impressed with the startup culture, and companies were selling the job, with with that kind of an option. After that phase, people were like looking for stable job opportunities again, because startups, maybe they didn't have a good experience with startups for various reasons. They were looking for more stable companies where there's a lot of job security over there. And now, what I see is, not only just for better compensation or a better role, but they also look for better work-life balance. I hear from my team, and I also talk to so many candidates on a daily basis, where they ask me, okay, how's the work-life balance there? Because all of them, they feel that they need to have some me time. They
Yes.
just don't to be in office for like 10, 12 hours and do nothing in their personal life. So and I see a lot of people in my office also, they have so many hobbies and passions that they want to spend time on. So I think that again has shifted a lot, and people are more focusing on the work-life balance. They want to make sure that uh, you know other than job, what else the company is offering, how's the culture in general.
Yes.
Yeah. And then whether the company is there to take care of other things like benefits,
Yes.
especially the health insurance, because
So,
people, yeah,
so just to add to that, I think COVID has made this conversation far more important now. And what I understand is that we have to come up with something called as a value proposition. It is no longer just an offer. And
definitely,
since COVID, all these health benefits and other factors like flexibility at where to work
definitely,
from,
definitely,
and well-being, is your organization
right,
interested in that? So
right.
do you agree with all these observations? What is?
Definitely, definitely. And interestingly, Nina, earlier I remember while talking to female candidates, they used to ask these questions about, flexibility, especially if they have small kids. But now, interestingly, many men also ask me this question: how's the flexibility here? So not just the work-life balance, but flexibility in general. That what if they need to spend some time with their families on certain occasions, and then can they work from home? And then, what is the health insurance benefit? How the company supports the employees in such scenarios? Not exactly like COVID, but then what if something like that happens again? Then how is the company supportive? Or do they still expect the person to come to office, or make sure that the work is done, or they are given a lot of flexibility, to make sure that the work is done on time?
Yes. So also, see, the way I understand it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the thing is, social factors obviously play a big role in terms of obviously in term like things like insurance is so expensive now, and in a country like India where family is very important, parent, you have to look after your parents. In some cases parents may not be having their own insurance, so
Right.
if your organization is providing a benefit like parental coverage, these things are becoming crucial. uh,
Definitely.
and at the same time now, earlier the things were there were only single earning member, so
Yeah.
the wife was there to take care of majority personal life situations. But now with double income households, the wife also has her own challenges and the husband has his own challenges.
Yes.
So flexibility is required for both the partners.
True.
So it is becoming really an important thing for an organization to have that understanding
Yeah.
about this. So, as a TA person, as a TA leader, in fact, when you have to present some of these things to the organizations, to the leader, and what critical factors do you draw their attention to? What is it? How do you
So,
present your case?
luckily, I mean, as a TA person, you have to, keep a tab of, what is happening in the industry in general. I
Yes.
mean, what you do as a company is one thing. I mean, the culture itself and what all benefits that you're providing. But then you also keep a track how the other companies are doing it, or what is happening in the market in general. So you want to make sure that you are providing all those facilities and how you're supporting your employees, just like most of the companies in the industry. So I don't think we have had any challenges over there. So the management in general, they are aware of what is happening. So we keep sharing all these articles that we come across on social media, or what we hear from our colleagues from the industry or friends from the industry. And so, more or less, most of them, the hiring manager themselves or the management, they are aware how the company, how the industry is changing, how the trend is changing slowly. So, yeah,
That works out in the end.
yes.
Fantastic. So, Meghna, before we wrap up and like this conversation, we do something called as rapid musings, and I know your TA people are very good at asking critical questions to your candidates. So, today, are you ready to face some of these questions?
Let me try.
So, let me ask you, like your business secret now, your personal way or the magic statement you say when you have to close a candidate or you have to convince him. What do you,
Okay.
how do you do it?
Okay, so I think I usually tell the person that this is not just a job opportunity. This is not just a job. I mean, this is a career opportunity.
Oh,
And why, if the person joins us, then how that is going to add value to his or her profile in general. And that's
mhm.
a lifetime opportunity. So, yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Fantastic. And as a talent acquisition professional, what do you think is the most crucial skill for a TA person to have? Skill or knowledge or
I, I think market intelligence is important and it's must. I mean, you just can't keep doing doing the same thing that you've been doing for like months and ages. So you need to know what is happening in the market, what changes you need to make, and what strategies you need to change. So having that information from the market is very, very crucial for a recruiter.
Fantastic. Now, let's lighten the mood a bit. What is the funniest question you have heard from a candidate? You've been asked by a candidate ever? Something which was unexpected.
Okay, there are many, but I'll tell you an incident. This question was not from a candidate, but the candidate's mother.
Really?
So yeah. So
No,
it was like back in 2002 or 3, I think, and I had this conversation. I closed the offer. The person accepted. He was from some other city. I don't remember which city, but within 5 minutes, the person called me back and he said, Meghna, my mother wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay. And this lady, I mean, maybe this guy was going to move to Pune for the first time ever. And she was really worried. And she asked me, Meghna, beta, how's the city in general? मेरा बेटा रह पाएगा क्या वहाँ पे? And खाना वाना मिलेगा क्या उसको? And I was like, even I was young at that time, and I was like, yeah, I mean, many people come to Pune to make a career.
We're living here.
I was trying to be very nice. Yeah, auntie, हो जाएगा, होता है ये no. And after that, she asked me, how's the weather there? Is it like too cold? I said, no, it's okay. I mean, Pune is a nice
Pleasant
place.
weather.
Yeah, yeah. And the next question was, कितने sweaters भेजूं उसके साथ?
Really, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't. I was like totally blank. I mean, I had never expected someone to ask me, कितने sweaters भेजूं इसके साथ? And I was like,
God.
I don't even remember what I said, but
See,
till today, I mean, I don't think anyone has asked me that kind of questions
see,
ever.
so many big organizations nowadays send you this branding, entire packet
Yeah,
before you accept the offer, which tells you about the city, which tells you about the surrounding and like that. I think
right.
some of these questions must have motivated them to create something.
Definitely.
Okay, my next question is, what do you think is a question which candidates need to ask, but most of the times they don't ask it?
Okay. So, what I expect people to ask is, usually they, for example, if you're hiring someone for a particular skill, the person will end up asking you a question: how's the career ladder? What is the growth opportunity? What will be my next title? How soon will I get promoted? And things like that. But then, very few people have asked me this question: what are the chances that the person will get to learn and work on a different technology that he or she is working on, or different team, or a different product, or a different organization within the company?
Yes.
What if I want to move to something else than what I'm doing right now? And very few people, I mean, they want to stick to, most of them, they want to stick to the same thing, and which is not wrong at all. But there are people who want to try something new, and maybe not immediately,
It
but
shows
maybe like
it shows growth mindset. It shows your
definitely,
learning
definitely,
attitude.
yeah.
Very
And
nice.
many companies are offering or giving these options nowadays, that not just this particular team that you're joining into, but then you can move around, try different things and be with the same company for long term. So
Yeah.
I think people should look at that too.
Wow. Very nice. Very thoughtful. Now my final question: what is your people mantra?
Okay. Okay. I think people should get recognized for the good work that they're doing, and it should be communicated to them. Because I think, I mean, of course, I mean, companies have their goals and targets, and people complete that. They get appraisals every year. That's fine. But every now and then, they should get recognized if they're doing something good, different. And I'm sure companies have these awards and things which
It's
are there.
not. It's not always about recognition. Is not always about reward or reward. It is just
Agree. Correct.
getting
Correct.
recognized,
Definitely.
acknowledged.
Yeah. Yeah. Not
But
like an award or reward, you said correctly, but just maybe a one-liner, or just a small message, that you're doing a great job and we appreciate that, something like that. So I
Fantastic.
think that should happen quite often.
So superb. I actually enjoyed talking to you about talent acquisition, Meghna. Thank you so much for being here. Any closing thoughts? Any parting
So I
words?
think uh, what you guys are doing, NHRD Pune, it is something really great and very interesting, exciting, because I'm looking forward to, hear some thoughts from other people from our group. And this is an opportunity. I mean, I'm sure it's not difficult, but it's not very easy to meet all of us, like,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, in one forum. But then this will give an opportunity to see and hear what people think about different aspects of HR.
And
And
actually,
yeah,
what is working? I mean, what
yeah,
the focus of our conversations is going to be what practices have worked for various professionals.
definitely.
That
Yeah,
is a great knowledge to have.
yeah. And I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode of People Point. And thank you so much. Stay tuned in NHRD Pune. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.